My husband's tongue is bitter. Husband, now you despise me. Now you treat me with spite, and say I have inherited the stupidity of my aunt, son of the chief. Now you compare me with the rubbish in the rubbish pit. You say you no longer want me because I am like the things left behind in a deserted homestead. You insult me. You laugh at me. You say I do not know letter A because I have not been to school and have not been baptized. You compare me with a little dog, a puppy. My friend, age mate of my brother, take care. Take care of your tongue. Be careful what your lips say. First take a deep look, brother. You're now a man. You're not a dead fruit. To behave like a child does not befit you. Listen, Okot. You are the son of a chief. Leave foolish behavior to little children. It is not right that you should be laughed at in a song. Songs about you should be songs of praise. Stop despising people as if you are a little foolish man. Stop treating me like saltless ash. Become barren of insult and stupidity. Who has ever uprooted the pumpkin? My clansmen, I cry, because to my voice, the insults of my man are painful beyond bearing. My husband abuses me together with my parents. He says terrible things about my mother, and I am so ashamed. He abuses me in English, and he's so arrogant. He says I am rubbish. He says he no longer wants me. In cruel jokes, he laughs at me. He says I am primitive because I cannot play the guitar. He says my eyes are dead and I cannot read. He says my ears are blocked and I cannot hear a single foreign word, that I cannot count the coins. He says I am like sheep, the fool. Okot treats me as if I am no longer a person. He says I am silly, like the oju insect that sits on a beer pot. My husband treats me roughly. The insults, words cut me more painfully than sticks. He says my mother is a witch, that my clansmen are fools because they eat rats. He says we are all kafirs. We do not know the ways of God. We sit in deep darkness and do not know the gospel. He says my mother hides her charms in her necklace and that we are all sorcerers. My husband's tongue is bitter like the roots of Iono really. It is hot like the pennies of the bee, like the sting of the kalang. Okot's tongue is fierce like the arrows of the scorpion, deadly like the spears of the buffalo hornet. It is ferocious like the poison of a barren woman, and corrosive like the juice of the gourd. My husband pours scorn on black people. He behaves like a hen that eats its own eggs, a hen that should be imprisoned under a basket. His eyes grow large, deep black eyes. Okot's eyes resemble that of a Nile perch. He becomes fierce, like a lioness with cubs. He begins to behave like a mad hyena. He says black people are primitive and their ways are utterly harmful. Their dances are mortal sins. They are ignorant and poor and diseased. Okot says he's a modern man, a progressive and civilized man. He says he has read extensively and widely and can no longer live with a thing like me, who cannot distinguish between good and bad. He says I am just a village woman. I am the old type. I am no longer attractive. He says I am blocking his progress. My head, he says, is as big as that of an elephant, but it's only bones. There is no brains in it. He says I am only wasting his time.